I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. Brawl Bunnii joins us. Should I be afraid?
I mean, honestly, when it comes to this kind of stuff, you might have to be. I mean, I am the bunny delinquent, so,
Yeah.
you're going to have to keep something like that in mind. Keep us at an arm's distance.
I will try to remain on my toes throughout the entire interview. Good.
Be aware, you got to keep an eye open.
Brawl Bunnii, how long have you been doing the VTube thing?
When it comes to VTubing, honestly, I'm pretty new to the game. I'd say probably I've been on air for about 6 months, I'd give it.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. Yeah, I'm definitely a newer addition to the team.
But were you streaming before, or is this your first time online?
Well, when it comes to like streaming as a whole, I'd say that I was doing streaming probably since I was younger.
Mm.
I did a lot of stuff with like face cam streaming when I was in high school, but I had since transitioned into the VTuber space, and I'm finding myself really comfortable in the community now.
That's good. That's good. It's good that you got a good start off. It wasn't too tough to make the jump into it.
I think that getting my bearings initially was hard because I feel like it's a whole other world. I'm playing a character online. It's less just get on and go live, and it's more performative than that. So I'd have to say that it definitely was hard at first, but once I was really in my element, I really started to lean into the brand and found my bearings there, made a lot of like friends in that way, and that was a really big support system for me to get started.
So, were you always been a performer? I mean, have you wanted to be? Are you one of these drama kids that ends up doing some streaming?
I hear about that a lot. I know that a lot of content creators, both VTuber and not, they always get their start in theater, and I have to say I really do lean into the stereotype. I mean, I've been doing a lot of productional work since probably I was about 9 or 10. I've always been into the theatrics and the performative elements of the arts, so I'm even minoring in that right now at my school for a college degree.
Yeah,
so that's pretty exciting.
That's good, and things are going well, hopefully.
Absolutely. It's really hard. It was hard at first, leaning into understanding the whole VTuber space. It was hard to find that initial academics, content creating balance, but I've since been really getting there, and I've been thoroughly enjoying my time. I think that the whole doing theater and acting as a whole, it really helped me to get in the VTuber game even more than I initially was, which is so exciting.
That's very good to hear. I mean, it's good to hear that one's affecting the other. How about the other way around? I mean, has anything from being online helped you as far as being on stage?
It's definitely made me comfortable in my own skin much more, which is ironic given that I play an anime character online. But I would have to say that when it comes to VTubing, and especially meeting so many people that are so talented, it inspires me a lot to turn that into something I can apply to my day-to-day outside of the content creating space.
It's almost scary, isn't it? I mean, the people that I've met and interviewed here, and I'm sure some of the people that you've met, it's scary how talented some of these folks are.
I mean, I think that because the VTube community is so diverse, you get a mixed basket of all these people that, work really hard for the craft of being a VTuber. So, I get to see like the arts in all its forms because VTubing as a whole is such a mixed medium. So I think that's really interesting.
Yeah.
And I get inspired by them a lot.
It's very much a mixed medium because you can get all sorts of different types of VTubers and what they do, whether it's art, music, gaming. I've seen people baking online now, which certainly is something that you will never see me do because I burn water.
You and me both.
Yeah, that
it would be entertaining though, I'm sure.
I mean, it would until the fire department shows up.
Yeah,
but
I'll give you that one.
Yeah, but it's really amazing to talk to such talented folks such as yourself who get an extra chance. It's another stage for you to perform on. isn't it?
Yeah. hmm
Yeah.
I mean, I've spent my time on stage, on camera, on TV. I've done all that stuff, but I've really resonated with streaming. I think that's where, a lot of my specifics in terms of like humor and stuff lie. I mean, I do stand up outside of this
Mm.
kind of stuff, so it definitely it definitely worked its way into the content creating sphere. So I definitely enjoyed my time with that.
So you've been on stage doing stand up, huh?
Of
Mm.
course.
Oh my.
I do a lot of performative works. I mean, I sing as well. I perform at weddings.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never not doing something to get to be in the spotlight just a little longer. So,
Well,
here
I
we
tell
are,
you,
VTubing.
my hat's off to you for getting up in front of an audience and doing that. So many
You
years
got
in
to be a
radio.
certain brand of crazy.
Yeah, so many years in radio, and I still get um, if there's 20 people standing in front of me, I don't want to grab the microphone, really.
Well, don't get me wrong. I mean, it can be a little bit of an adrenaline rush. I find myself, nervous sometimes, but it's just something that you gotta take the good with the bad in terms of content and just performing in general as a whole.
Yeah.
So,
Well, but what made you decide to do the VTubing thing if you're doing all these other things?
when it comes to I'm really passionate about, or even since I was younger, I really liked things like anime and
Mm,
like playing a character, getting a chance to escape the real world and just kind of step into a space where I am as I am in my most honest self,
mm,
without fear of judgment or like you know deciding if I'm a good content creator or a bad content creator based on my looks or how I portray myself in the physical space. I think that VTubing kind of adds that buffer, and I really like that about VTubing.
yeah,
And also just being a persona is always fun. It's like an advanced form of acting, which I really like.
yeah. I like that explanation. So, how much of Brawl Bunny is you?
Um, that's actually a really interesting question. How much is of Brawl is me?
Yeah.
I like to distinct her from myself in the sense that like on in the VTuber space, I always speak my mind. I'm very brash when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to like saying what I'm thinking. In terms of like would I swear a lot. I mean, I'm pretty being obnoxious is one of the core elements of being a good content creator. But I always try to like speak my mind on here, and I feel like I always try to like I'm very passionate in my ideals.
Hmm.
I don't really get to talk about that kind of stuff in the real world. So,
Yeah.
being able to play this character that like is a reflection of my inner self is definitely, I wouldn't say that we're exactly the same. I think that a lot of my stuff is performative in terms of being a VTuber.
Yeah.
So I think that that's where the line gets drawn, and I'm always thinking. I think second and I speak first when I'm on the VTuber space, but that seems to do really well here. So,
Yeah.
I guess in that regard we're pretty different.
Well, it is different in terms of how some VTubers work. Some people
Of
use the
course,
some people use the model as a filter. You're using the model as kind of to take the filter off.
yeah, I think that's definitely the case. With a lot of VTubers, usually their character and themselves, like the character, you don't really lean into the character really because you're streaming to be yourself.
Yeah.
But I think for me, it's actually the opposite, where I really like playing this character, like this strong, you know, powerful, freaking bunny girl.
A
I
walk-in
think that it's
disaster.
really fun to turn that into a real thing, and I think that it really resonates with my audience to be this larger than life, persona of myself, which is really fun.
A walk-in disaster.
I try to be. I really am.
I I think that's
Absolutely.
great, and I think that what you've built up here is something that could be um, certainly expanded on even more. You could with the what you've created, you could do oh uh, not just like merchandise, obviously, which folks would think, but
Of course.
stories.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
full
I mean,
fledged stories.
I really enjoy like writing and stuff, so
Hmm.
that definitely has come through in like my character. I try to like keep the elements of like her quote unquote lore
Hmm.
and incorporate them as much as possible into both her design and how I front myself online. So,
Yeah, that's I'm gonna look forward to that because I think this is gonna be. I think
of course.
you really hit a good vein here as far
Right,
as being
right.
able to mine what you can get with a character. So now
Of
that you are
course,
online
absolutely.
and been doing it for a little while, what are the things you enjoy most when you are streaming?
I think more than anything, what I absolutely adore when it comes to streaming, I think would have to just be my audience. I love making people laugh, and my job as an online creator is to make people laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And that really, I feel that that really shines through when I'm participating in the online space. That is something, I mean, as I said, I mean, I do a lot of stuff to make people laugh in, the IRL space, but on here, like, that is my full-time job is to make people smile and laugh. And I think that when I succeed in that and when I hit that perfect sweet spot of cynical and funny, I think that that is where I feel my greatest, where like I know I'm supposed to be here, and this is my spot.
It really sounds like that you have become extremely comfortable with Brawl Bunny.
Of course. I
I
mean,
mean,
she's been in the works for how long now?
yeah,
I'm not a big artist, but I've been drawing this, and I've had this idea for this character since, my
well,
middle school days, and, it's been a decade since then. So,
yeah.
you know,
But it's not only just comfortable with Brawl Bunny, but comfortable with being online and entertaining people. It doesn't. It seems like you've got a just in talking with you here, you've got a comfort level that kind of exceeds people going up on stage and trying to interact. You're settled in once you get in online, aren't you?
I think so. Yeah. I really feel like with streaming and such, I try to like tap into this part of myself that I don't really get to exercise in real life.
Mm-hmm.
And I get told a lot that it's like you have this whatever natural charisma or whatever approximation swearing and screaming can be justified to. But yeah, I really get to I get to, exercise that part of myself, and that's really part of what VTubing is all about, is just tapping into recesses that you wouldn't outside of this space. I mean, the art you can get of yourself, the way you portray yourself, the character that you put on, the way that your audience interprets your character,
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff is like that's internet exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
So I really try to get cozy in that regard, that it's like it's now or never. I'm at the pinnacle of VTubing where it stands right now, and it's a growing and forever changing space, and I want to get comfortable while I can, obviously. So
Well,
that's why I'm here.
you're multi-talented, obviously, and you're going to be able to be agile enough to adjust with the changes. Because there will be changes in VTubing, if there has
Of
to be,
course,
and it sounds like you'll
as the
be.
internet changes.
Yeah, as the internet changes and things get faster
Hmm.
or not as well done in the case of some places.
Understood.
Yeah, X. The uh, it sounds like you're going to be able to adopt and improve that old line. You're ready for whatever comes.
I hope so. Yeah,
Wow, it really does sound like that. Whatever hits, you'll be able to adjust and keep going forward.
I'm
Now,
always eager for the challenge.
yeah. Now, what type of games are you playing online right now?
What kind of games? I mean, I play pretty much a little bit of everything. I've always like fronted myself as a variety streamer, so I play anything from like the softest, sweetest, cutest little farming games to like I'm out there with a big gun and I'm blasting zombies from like the demon hell zone, you know? So I play a really mixed variety of games, but the games that I really resonate with the most are always the story games. Anything with like a really rich story. I love those kinds of games.
Yeah,
And I love living those games vicariously through my audience and me playing them. So
yeah,
yeah, I love story games.
yeah. Well, you are a writer. I mean, you've written, and that sounds like it's right up your alley. Um,
Of course.
and what your description? I'm imagining Stardew Valley with the folks from Helldivers jumping into it. Now that would be
I love Stardew.
that would be a game right there. But
That would be a game.
yeah, but I've got 30 save files of Stardew Valley at
Oh
least.
yeah?
Yeah, I
I love to hear it. That
I
game is great.
I have to stay away from it, otherwise I won't get anything done. I haven't played with the new update yet, and I know I'd have to take at least a week off of work because they couldn't pry
I
me away.
believe you.
But
It sucks you in, man. It sucks you in.
yeah, and to think that only one guy did that, it's
Yeah. It's really
nuts.
inspiring. I
But
love it.
yeah, it is too. It is inspiring because all this stuff that you've done. I mean, you've had some folks, you've farmed out a few things here and there, but everything you've
Mm.
created here is comes from your noggin.
Right.
This is everything that happens here is on you. And do you ever feel that pressure every once in a while?
I don't want to be like no because I that's obviously not true, but
Hmm.
when it comes to the VTubing space, I don't know what it is about me, but I think it's just the fact that like this is something that I really resonate with, and I've been passionate about doing something like this since I was young.
Hmm.
I really like I feel like this is like something I'm it's like my whatever my destiny whatever to work at this and hit it till it lands. Do I think that sometimes it can be discouraging when something doesn't hit right away or like they don't get my vision yet? I mean, sometimes, but I know that I'm doing something and I bring something to the table that's one of a kind, and that in and of itself and knowing that people respect that and resonate with that makes me want to do it more and love it like it's my own like creation. And
Well, it is.
yeah.
I mean, it's your creation that is showing a side of you that people in real life don't necessarily get to see a lot of.
Right.
Yeah, and to know that that is popular and people want to come and see that and be a part of it, be a part of the community, that has got to feel good.
It does. It feels amazing, and it's something that I love and would easily do 100 times over if I had to. I think that this is where you gotta be. It's just a really fun. It's just fun, and I love having fun.
Yeah. So the audience that you're getting, the followers, have they been pretty steady with you? Have they, when you've gone from game to game or topic to topic, have they stayed with you pretty well?
Well, I mean, I haven't been streaming for long enough to really like know where my it subject is and like where like I'm destined to lay my bearings in terms of like what hits the best.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I have made substantial growth in the short amount of time that I've been content creating. So I am so lucky and absolutely gifted and blessed to have really a really like loyal and respectable like fan base. I Everything I do, hey, I want to do this thing and I'm going to do it in this amount of time. They say go and do it, and they always come to support me regardless. I mean, my viewership has been so steady, so I've been really able to reach out and hit on a bunch of different things. One day I'm gaming, one day I'm just talking and hanging out, one day I'm doing a talk show, one day I'm recording a podcast
Yeah.
for for this.
Yeah.
So they've always been they've always been absolutely like some of my biggest supporters. So
That's
once
cool.
this comes out, I'm sending my love to my fans out there. Mwah.
There you go.
But yeah, absolutely. They've been, they're one of a kind, really. I couldn't ask for a better, a better squad to roll with. So,
That's because you're one of a kind. You come in very well, not just saying that. You come in with a unique set of talents, a unique character, and a unique way of doing things, and that has resonated with them. People come back for the people will watch anybody play a game, but they'll come back for the personality, and that's obviously what's
Yes, of
happened here.
course.
That's obviously what's happened here. And
I also think that also is what makes VTubing so great as a whole. I think that VTubing is so obviously I shouldn't say judgment free because of course we have our hiccups in the community, but
mm,
when it comes to the difference between face cam streaming and um VTubing is that the first thing that people see when the first thing that people look for when you stream is the way that you look, how you present yourself.
mm,
When I was face cam streaming, there was a real bit of judgment, and sometimes like people wouldn't even stick around to know what I'm like
right.
because of my first hand appearance, or they would stay but not for the right reasons.
Yeah.
With VTubing, and I think that that's what makes it so special, is that you could be anybody,
Mm,
and you as an audience you need to be ready to experience anybody. You don't have to be attractive or look a certain way or perceive or be perceived in a certain way physically for people to want to click in and watch you. You get to do it just because you're funny, and that's what makes people stay, and that's what makes people want to support you and your craft.
you know, I that used to be like the old days of radio when we had real disc jockeys. People people didn't see our faces. People didn't know who we were
Exactly.
on the street. Sometimes some people used different names, different
Right,
personas,
right.
and people didn't know, but they tuned in because of the personality spinning the records. They could hear the tunes on any station, especially in the
Of
'80s. Good
course.
gravy,
Hmm.
that was obnoxious.
Wild.
Yes, but again, they came back for the person who was behind it. I think that some of that carries on into the VTuber community. Um,
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is like I think that you have a very special like connection that most people that aren't in the VTuber space have because whether it be over radio or through VTubing,
uh,
you you are being evaluated on the core of yourself
mhm,
and where you like stem from as a personality, as
yeah,
opposed to like like a model or something. Like you are evaluated directly on how long you can make somebody stay. You
yeah.
know.
Well, I can tell you this: no one ever mistook me for a model, and but
You and me both, man. Why do you think I'm in the game for I'm in this game,
yeah. Well, but people were surprised when they met me in person if they'd heard me on the radio what I looked like because I didn't match.
Yeah.
And
I feel exactly the same way.
yeah,
That definitely happens too for me when I turn on my camera, they're like, "That's what you look like," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's me, all right." Yeah, you can't wipe it away with a magic marker. It's still me.
well, it's great to hear somebody who's got such a great attitude about this, and I want to ask you something.
Absolutely.
I want to ask you about your voice a little bit, if I can.
Oh yeah,
Um,
please.
are you doing any voice acting?
Have I done any voice acting? Yes, I have. I really I'm not really like in it like that where like I've done it for any sort of monetary gain, but
Mm-hmm.
a lot of my college friends, they're all artists. I unfortunately was never so gifted, but they're all artists and stuff, so I definitely I've been asked to volunteer in their works. I don't know. A lot of people say that my voice is very, I guess, nostalgic for them, or they, I guess, like the way that it sounds. Like it reminds them of somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
which I like. I mean, I'll take it as a pretty brilliant compliment. Honestly, I get a lot of, um, topics of that, and people ask me if like I would ever consider pursuing it, and of course, I'm definitely, interested. If my whole becoming a lawyer thing doesn't work out, that's definitely an avenue I would love to venture. I think it'd be really, really interesting to,
I've got
um,
a
you
cousin of
know.
mine is a lawyer
Oh
in
yeah,
Georgia, and she, as she was getting the degree, she was doing stand up. She was doing all sorts of things.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
There you
to
go.
get her
Hey,
way
that's
through.
nice.
And she even did a little thing on the Walking Dead. She was one of the zombies.
Oh yeah, that is awesome. That is so cool.
And I'm like
I love that.
you could go to conventions and sue anybody that doesn't show up.
Well, there you go.
It doesn't want your
Easy as
autograph.
that.
Just sue their behind. But
Of course.
it's the voice that you have is a very what's it, individual instrument. It's very unique, and I think that
Yeah.
it really would carry it into this into voice acting extremely well. And
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
yeah, now you mentioned a little bit of singing before.
Oh yeah, yeah. Used to perform like I don't want to say full time because that's not true. I'm a full time student right now, and
Yeah,
I do work. But yeah, I used to perform like I help my friends, and sing. I would be a backup vocalist. I sing
mm,
at weddings, solo singing.
yeah.
Yeah, I really like to sing. I mean, I've been in theater for how long? I'd hope that I have at least a little bit of a voice. I'm no Rihanna, but please,
Well,
I like
who
to think
is?
that I carry
Yeah.
myself quite well.
So when is the list of covers coming out?
I mean, honestly, VTuber covers is something that really it has really exploded in popularity, especially recently. I mean, I feel like all of my friends have really been interested in doing stuff like that. But as of right now, I haven't really thought about them yet. I did just get a new microphone.
Mm.
Sounds delightful. Thank you to my fans who had, you know, comped it for me. But yeah, I do plan on. I want to do some covers soon. I really am. Not to say that I'm an old soul or anything, but I really dig the classics. So I would love to, do a Sinatra song or
Ooh,
something along those lines. It'd be great.
ooh, then maybe a karaoke with those would be pretty amazing.
Oh, karaoke, yes. I know
Yeah.
that people do karaoke streams as well,
Yeah.
so that's like super exciting.
See, Brawl Bunny fans, I'm trying to get her to do the song stuff, so you don't have to keep bugging them. So,
I'm gonna get it done, I swear, guys. Don't hold me to it too long.
it's
I
a.
got it. I'm on the way.
So what's next? What's the next big thing for you online?
Next big thing for me online, I think I would have to be showing off the brand spanking new model.
Hey,
I mean, I got that done. I just announced my debut date. I mean, I'm so nervous, but at the same time, I can't help it. I'm ecstatic. I'm absolutely elated to get started.
and
I think,
when's it gonna be?
hmm?
When's it gonna be?
It's going to be in early July, so I'm
Ooh,
thinking anywhere between the 5th and the 11th, I will be sending out an invitation online to invite people to come to the stream and hang out. It's going to be really exciting. I'm so ready. I have a bunch of stuff planned, and I'm ready to, really kick this into full gear. I mean, I've been sitting on this model for how long? I haven't been able to show it off yet.
mm,
But the one time I did show it off, everybody loves it. So,
mm.
I'm so excited.
How do you keep on that for so long? I mean, I'd be wanting to show it off as soon as I got
I mean, trust me, I mean, I've been chomping at the bit to get this done, but
it.
I'm not I think that because I was so new to the space, um I really wanted to get my bearings. So I worked with this PNG tuber. I don't know if anybody on the podcast has come on and had a PNG tuber, but it's
Mhm.
basically the same thing as a VTuber model, but it instead of it moving around the screen,
Yeah,
it's two images.
right, right. Right. Yeah, we've had quite a few folks come on like that, but it's going to be great to see this go because I think that you've got nearly unlimited potential. You have the
I mean, I'm a
energy.
pretty animated person,
I mean,
so I think that having a model that can move around and do all the fancy stuff, I mean, that's super cool.
yeah, I'm talking about everything here. I think that you've got
Mm.
obviously the talent, you've got the want to, you've got the energy to do it, and
Certainly.
you got a good sense of what you want to do with the channel. That only that
Right, of course.
all of that's pointing up, and all together is a great thing. So I think in the future we're going to be hearing a lot from you.
Thank you so much.
I really think it's going to be amazing. And once you get them songs put together, we're gonna have you back on, and you can do some live stuff for us, or I
Of
could just
course, I'll be sure to send it your way. Of course, of course.
or
I'd be happy to. I'd love to.
I'll just do like the internet folks do and just rip it off your music video and play it.
No. I'd be happy to. I mean, I'd be happy to share. I
well,
love it.
I really appreciate you coming on. I think that
Yeah, of
that
course.
it's everything's going to be up for you from here, and I want folks to ride along with you. So we're going to have the links in the description for the interview, and
Thank you so much.
hopefully soon we'll have you back. I know you're very busy.
Oh my God, I would be happy, happy, happy to be on. I mean, this was an absolute pleasure. So,
Thank you so much, and we'll talk again
of
soon.
course. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.